A few days ago, The Guardian published an article scaremongering about the Chinese camera technology that British police are using. According to the report, 24 of the 39 police forces that responded to the Surveillance Camera Commissioner's questions said that they use Chinese technology in their cameras. This is something that we should apparently be worried about. And why should we be worried? The only reason the article gives is that China might steal the data from the cameras. Quite why China would care about police body camera footage from Basingstoke, the article never makes clear. Perhaps they're planning to blackmail police officers who brutalize members of the public. How evil. The whole basis of the article is the inbuilt assumption that we should be worried about the supposed threat from China. But there's a problem with this narrative. The UK is a class-based society. There's no universal national interest or public good. What's good for the capitalist class, and its stooges in the media and government, is usually harmful to ordinary working and marginalized people. Meanwhile, what's good for us is usually harmful to the ruling, capitalist class. So we must ask ourselves a question: why is the West engaged in a Cold War against China? It's certainly not for the benefit of ordinary British workers. The ruling class in the US and UK have started to realize that China could undermine their economic supremacy in the world. The West relies on exploiting cheap labor and natural resources from countries around the world, and has kept those countries poor through invasions, coups, corruption, and IMF loans. IMF loans always come with conditions that countries must strip labor rights, reduce or eliminate minimum wages, or take away social safety nets. All these conditions serve to leave the populations of these countries desperate, meaning that Western businesses can exploit them for cheap labor. China's model of foreign investment is different. It loans money to the countries with no strings attached, and helps to fund infrastructure projects that build up foreign countries' internal economies, leaving their citizens less vulnerable to foreign exploitation. The current US and UK economic model depends on being able to export exploitation to foreign countries. But a country like China, which is trying to build a strong socialist economy, doesn't need or want to exploit foreign people for its long-term success. It's happy to build up foreign countries as partners, and that undermines Western powers. But the interests of the UK's capitalist class aren't in the long-term interests of ordinary British people. It's in our interest to take the economy into democratic, public ownership and work with other countries as partners too. Any war with China, either cold or hot, is only for the benefit of those who actually own the UK's economy, not for the benefit of those who need to earn a wage in order to live. The constant stream of stories that whip up fear about China is only meant to prepare the public to accept a war with China, and all the negative consequences that come with it. If the US and UK somehow manage to beat China down, the capitalists are still going to export your job whenever possible. They're still going to push the government to strip away labor protections. They're still going to try to privatize the NHS and everything else. Our enemy isn't the Chinese, it's the people responsible for our exploitation and suffering here at home. If China has some dastardly plan to steal our police camera footage, it's not likely to do anything with it that actually harms ordinary British people. It's time for the liberal press to stop fear-mongering already. If you've enjoyed this video, then remember to like, subscribe, and share. And let me know what you think in the comments. Until next time.